what you want, when you want it, where you want it. This is The Mesh.
This podcast is sponsored by Jackson Creative, a custom communication agency located in downtown Hickory, specializing in online content creation. To learn more, visit thejacksoncreative.com. Jackson Creative, we tell your story.
We'll try not to too much talk over each other, but again, we are girls and we are
agree to disagree.
Okay,
moving on.
Well, the makeup bottle. A little. It's like a cracked out T-bird, some grease.
Yeah.
She's got that black hair.
Hello. Welcome to a very special episode of ChickChat. This is ChickChat across the country. We are coming to you remotely in both in different places. Janette and I can see each other, but you cannot see us. We are podcasting in our pajamas, I'd like to think. I'm not, but I don't know if you are. It's fine.
No, I'm not.
It's fine.
But I like that, podcasting in pajamas.
I think that could actually be like a little side show maybe we could start.
Or like ChickChat, hashtag podcasting in pajamas.
I'm totally down for that. Totally down. All good. Well, good to see you, Janette. It has been a hot minute.
It has.
How's it going? You've got summertime in full effect right now.
I think so. I keep asking myself, is it really summer? Because my schedule hasn't slowed down. I think it's only picked up since school let out. But
how is life? How's the summer life with two kids?
It is good. It is busy, but it's good. Yeah. Getting used to the summer schedule is going to be different when my oldest starts school back, because then I have to get used to a whole new schedule. But the good thing is the little one is adaptable. He goes whenever
absolutely.
I say
he goes everywhere with you. Yeah. Where, when does your kid start school?
Last week in August.
Okay. Mine too.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yes, we've got a month left.
Yeah.
1 month.
Yeah.
You can do it. You can do it. I had to tell myself that the other day. I understand there's a lot of people out there that are like, summertime's the best time. I love it and everything. And I enjoy it, but unfortunately I can't. I mean, I do still work, and we do this. So it's very different for me than maybe a stay-at-home mom or something else. So we've been hot. We've had cold weather. We've had rainy weather. We've had a little bit of everything. It has definitely been a summer of first. We took a lot of trips. We went to a little bit of a cross country trip. We did some over the 4th of July. We went to Yellowstone and Mount Rushmore. Pretty cool.
Nice.
Yeah. So we've had a good time. But I'm going to be the first to say that I'm kind of ready for school to start back. My husband actually said that to the kids the other day. He was like, I'm kind of ready for you guys to go back to school.
I feel guilty saying that, but I'm like, I told my daughter, like, I love you and I love that you're home and I don't have to wake up super early, but I'm so ready for you to go back to school.
Yeah. And you know what? My family thrives on routine. We really do. And summer just does not have a steady routine a lot of times. And so it is very, nice when there is that, here's what's going to happen in the morning. You're going to do this and then you're going to come home. And then you have the, flexibility in the evenings, but mine like routine. And I miss that in the summertime. So bring on school year, bring on fall TV, because there's a couple things happening in the fall that we need to talk about.
Oh, okay.
Yes. First of all, I just started watching this show the other day. It's only had a few episodes, and I'm not sure if you've seen it or not, but I personally think it is kind of brilliant. Okay. It's called What Just Happened with Fred Savage.
Okay.
Have you heard of this?
I've heard it. I've seen the little thing in the corner when other shows are on, but I haven't seen it.
Okay. So here's the thing. So, I listen to Dax Shepard's podcast, Armchair Expert, a lot, right?
Yeah.
So Fred Savage was on it recently, and I'd also seen Fred Savage on a couple other late night talk shows or the previews saying Fred Savage is going to be the guest this week. And I'm like, why is Fred Savage so popular right now? But it was because he was obviously on tour. As we all know, Fred Savage was on the Wonder Years. And so he was a famous child actor. He's been on plenty of shows since then. He actually is into directing a lot now. But he has a new show that's on Fox, and it's called What Just Happened with Fred Savage. Now, I want you to follow me here. This show is a mockumentary, maybe, a mock-up. I don't know how you would describe it, but it's Fred Savage, but he's pretending to be a host on a late-night talk show. Imagine Watch What Happens Live with Andy Cohen.
Okay.
Or even maybe a Jimmy Fallon or James Corden. But it's based on, the show is a late-night talk show that talks about a TV show and what just happened on it. And it's a fake TV show. It's not a real TV show in real life. Okay? It's so hard to describe now that I'm saying it out loud. It actually sounds ridiculous now that I'm talking about it, but it's really funny. Okay, so Fred Savage plays himself as the host of a late night TV show that the whole purpose is it comes on right after this fictional show comes on. But in the television show, it's not fake. The TV show is called The Flair. Obviously, that's not a real show. But in this program, it is a real show. So it's so weird to talk about. Everybody,
you're not selling it great yet.
But. I know, I can't do it. I don't understand how to say it now. I was watching it and I was like, man, this is brilliant. This is unbelievable how they pulled this off. But now that I'm trying to describe it, I can't. So imagine that it is a late night talk show that is about,
so kind of like Talking Dead after Walking Dead.
It's exactly like Talking Dead. Okay, so Talking Dead following up Walking Dead. Right now, Talking Dead talks about the show that just happened, right?
That just happened, yes.
Yes. And they'll have guests on or special appearances, right?
Yes.
So that's what this is. But this is on television as a fake show. Okay. So the show that he's talking about is not a real show.
Right.
Which makes this like a sitcom.
Okay.
And they have guests that come on. And so, for example, in episode 1, Rob Lowe is a guest on the couch next to Fred Savage. Okay. And Fred welcomes him out on stage, and Rob comes out and he's greeting the audience and waving and high-fiving and stuff. And then he sits down and they spend the entire interview talking about this TV show that Rob is a super fan of.
Okay.
And so these people have this, they basically are given the plot of this fake TV show called The Flair. And then he brings these people on and they talk about it. And so what I don't know is, and the whole thing's fake. Like I said, this is not aired as a television show. So at the very beginning, the first episode, you watch the last 3 minutes of The Flair. Okay. And then it cuts to the show. It's so bizarre. And Fred, you can tell he's dealing with some I'm an older actor now, and I'm not as cute and bubbly as I used to be with everybody. And he's having to keep up with the young ones. So, for example, in the show, The Flair is based off of a 4-book series, and that was written back in the day. And he read all these books whenever he was on the Wonder Years, and he read them. They comforted him. It was his favorite story to dream away that he was taking part of. But his co-host on the show is this young millennial girl, and she's like, oh no, I didn't read any of the books. I'm just watching the movies, and he's like, oh, but don't you think that you would really love to watch or read the books and get the true backstory? Do you really need to have the background? She's like, I don't need it, and it's very much that storyline now. People aren't reading the books anymore. They just wait for the big movie. And so he's trying to keep up with that idea. And he's just real awkward on the show and stuff. He's himself, but it's one of these weird concepts of a series that you're like, how did somebody come up with this? And he's the director, he's the producer, and he's starring in it. So it's a lot of Fred Savage, but it's a show
I have to check it out.
Check out.
I'll check it out.
It's on Fox, and it comes on Sunday nights.
Okay.
And it's only had like 3 or 4 episodes, I think. But it's really interesting because you almost find yourself thinking like, oh my gosh, like I totally watched this show at some point. And you're like, no, the flare's not real. Like this is not real. And I'm like, but I feel like I've seen it because he's talking about things. They have the cast from that show on, which are real actors in real life. And they go by their real names and all. It's really bizarre. And you forget that you're not watching a real show, that they're actually talking about something. So anyway, that's my new show plug for the episode. It's called What Just Happened with Fred Savage.
I'm going to check out the first episode and see what's going on. But I do enjoy him on. Yeah, I'm going to give it a try. I do enjoy him, and I cry laughing at Friends from College.
Love it. I love it.
I mean, I have like for real like outbursts of laughter at the show.
Absolutely. The entire show's funny. I've actually watched season 1 like twice.
Seasons are so short. It's disappointing. Yeah. Like just when it's getting good, they're like, okay, we're done. Like,
yeah. What? You got to wait another 9 months now.
Right.
It's so good. And that's honestly why I kind of was like, I'm going to give something he's doing a shot, because it just seems like, why not? You know,
I gotta go watch those again because those are hilarious.
They are. They're all on Netflix. Anybody can go watch them. Friends from College. It's got a lot of stars in it. A lot of people playing it, but they all can come on there because, like you said, it's very short seasons, and so they can do it. It's fine. So anyway, so I've watched that. Let's see. You know what's coming in the fall again now is the 90210 reboot.
August soon.
How do you in like another week and a half?
Yeah.
How do you feel about this?
I'm excited.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, this is what brought me into this, is because you know how it's going to be. It's not going to be the same people being these characters. It's going to be Jason Priestley.
Oh.
Knowing that he's played Brandon Walsh, and they're all trying to get a reboot back up and going, and they come together as the characters who played these characters.
Oh, well, then I don't know how I feel about it.
That's what I understand. That's what I was told, and that's what I read, is that it's definitely not just like, oh, hey, now we're all like adults and living, you know, normal lives. It's like them saying, okay, we've got to get a reboot together, and so, hey, Jason, call up Jenny and get her in the group or whatever. And then let's all figure out how to be Brenda and Kelly and Steve, all of them again. Like what Fred Savage is doing. I don't know. Actors being fake actors. I
guess I'll watch it the first.
Well, there's only 6 episodes.
It's like Friends from College.
Yes, there's only 6. So it's not like we're going to get a big old storyline anyway.
Okay.
So I don't know.
I mean, I wish they would do it like Will and Grace did it, where they came back as Will and Grace.
And it's just straight up normal. And Just Jack. Now, Will and Grace is done after this upcoming season.
What?
Yeah, they just announced the other day that season 3 of the reboot will be their final.
It's very disappointing. Why can't everything just last as long as all these like 20, like Law and Order?
Law and Order is never going to go off the air. I have thoroughly enjoyed Will and Grace reboot. Yeah. And I think they've made it possible for all these other things. We've talked about reboots a lot here on the show, but it seems like that's all anybody's doing. You know, they're doing all kinds of stuff. Disney's on a spell right now of all their movies are getting reboots. Oh my gosh, can we talk about Top Gun? Please tell me you watched the trailer.
Did I see that trailer?
Janette.
I don't remember. I don't think I did. Well, did I?
This is Top Gun Maverick.
I want to say I watched it, but I can't be 100% sure.
I almost need to end the podcast so that you go watch it and then come back in and we'll restart it. I cannot believe this. Okay, so Top Gun Maverick comes out like at the beginning of next year, I think. The first preview has come out. This is what you want. This is picking up in real life where it is right now.
Right.
Age-wise. what you can tell from the preview is that Tom Cruise, Maverick, is now still just a captain in the military. And he is talking to Ed Harris, who I love, Ed Harris. Ed Harris is playing like his boss maybe, or the general or something. And Ed saying, I can't believe like you've had the most these and the most this and the biggest this and all this stuff. And you're still just a captain. Like you should be a 2-star admiral by now. And Maverick's like, yeah, well, I'm not, like it's almost like he's turned all this stuff down because he wants to go teach at Top Gun. Anyway, then it goes through Maverick is flying. He's riding his motorcycle. He's pulling off his famous aviators and leather jacket with all the patches and stuff. And Miles Teller is in the movie.
Okay.
I love Miles Teller. Like, love Miles Teller. Okay. And Miles Teller plays Bradley Bradshaw, which, if you recall, Bradshaw is Goose's last name.
Okay.
So he is the son of Goose.
Oh, Goose.
And he's now coming to Top Gun, where Maverick is an instructor.
Okay.
John Hamm is also in the movie.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
And so is Jennifer Connelly.
What's she doing?
She's the new Charlie, I guess, maybe. I don't know. I saw her in a picture, like a poster with Maverick. Like
Meg Ryan coming back or not?
Haven't heard that. I thought that would be awesome to have just a tiny cameo from her. Like, talking to Maverick maybe about Goose's son, or something.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It'd be cool. But anyway, so, it's one of these things where it's like, hey, don't F with the original. Like, we were fine with Top Gun the way it was. Like, do we really need a part 2? But I really think that, from what I understand, technically, I asked the gentleman over at Foot Candle Films, another show here on the Mesh, what they thought of Tom Cruise doing a Maverick version, the Top Gun 2. And they actually claimed that they were not upset about it because if Tom Cruise has such clout in his producer roles and director roles and acting roles that he does not get into any movie that's going to end up as crap. Is what they've said. Pretty much if he's going to be in a movie, I know he's had like a sketchy personal past, but apparently anything he touches on the movie is going to be kind of gold. So they were like, it's not going to be a crappy movie. Like, there's that. And Val Kilmer's coming back in it. Oh, Iceman is in the movie again. So I read an interview with Val Kilmer where he says that Tom Cruise does pretty much, or not just Tom, but all the pilots pretty much do all the real flying in there. It's not CGI stuff.
Oh my gosh. I don't know that we want that.
I'm telling you, Tom Cruise is like known for doing all of his own stunts because
I've heard he did all the Mission Impossible stuff.
Yes. So that is why, another reason they're saying it could be pretty cool is because it's not CGI and animation and all this stuff to the extent that they can, obviously. But Val Kilmer was like, yeah, it's pretty intense. It's really cool. So you're going to have to hop off and make sure that you go watch that trailer in case you have not seen it. It's exciting. I can't wait.
Do you think they're doing things like reboots and part 2s of movies, or even redoing movies for some of these movies because of the generation gap? Like, I still go to the movies. I still watch TV. But like younger millennials, they're doing Netflix and Hulu. They don't have cable. So they're bringing back the shows that people like me grew up on and want to see them continue, or something that's happened,
So you're saying they're trying to lure our age back in, or they're trying
I think our age is still watching. A lot of us are still watching TV and cable, still have cable.
Yeah.
For the most part, because we either have kids and or for whatever reason, we have a lot of us still have cable. I know a lot don't, but a lot still have cable.
Sure.
So, like, if you think about it, a lot of the new shows don't last very long unless they have like older characters in them, or there's something that we're used to. Will and Grace, 90210 is coming back. You know, all those redos that they do.
Well, have you noticed too?
Staying on too long. Staying on for a long time.
All the game shows that have come back on now.
Yes, that's what I mean. Like all the Press Your Luck, and because those people still have cable and they're watching TV, whereas the millennials are like, yeah, we're not doing that on a Friday night or even a Wednesday night.
Right. Or if we are, we're recording it and watching it whenever we want to. Like it really doesn't matter. We're watching it, as we fall asleep or something like that.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that's a good point. I mean, it's one of these, I guess, you run a real risk in my mind of screwing with my memories, if you will. I don't really want, Will and Grace to ever be like tarnished in my mind because I loved that show originally. Mm-hmm. So it's like when they're going to come back again, I'm like, oh gosh, please don't screw it up because now I'm just going to be mad,
Well, that's what I'm really hoping. That's what I felt about 90210, the younger
That's
years.
Exactly right.
I was like, yes. I don't know who these kids are.
Same. It was not the same feeling, and I'm watching it. And so that was people trying to take something that was successful for us and apply it to that millennial age.
Yeah.
And like you said, that's just a different generation. It just does not compute sometimes. It doesn't transfer.
Yeah.
So I don't know that something like this 90210 reboot that's happening in a couple of weeks, I don't think that's going to have any appeal for anybody that's not in our age range.
Right. You probably don't know who these people are. It's Archie's dad. Archie's dad and his friends.
That's right. Rest in peace. Don't bring him up. Oh my gosh.
Oh. You know what's crazy? And I don't know if your daughters like watch these shows, but Cameron Boyce from Descendants, and she's on Disney. Like my daughter has been like just so down about his passing, and I get it.
Agreed.
But it's like that's the first like main character that she's known that has like had died, and they have a Disney movie coming out, and they've got all these tributes around Disney. We've had to talk about some things like
Same here. We actually, it was funny. It just came up this weekend because they were playing Descendants 1 and 2
all day.
Disney. Yeah, all day long, prepping for the Descendants 3, which my kids have already asked if they could like record it so that we could have it, to watch it and stuff. And I was like, absolutely. The movies are kind of a cute idea for people that don't understand. I do too. If you haven't seen it, it's on Disney. It's a series. They've got a Descendants movie 1, and then they've had a 2, and now they're coming out with a 3 because it really is just that successful. But the whole movie is based on children of Disney villains. Okay, the villains have been banished to like an island that they're it's a bad island. All the bad people are there. So the main characters are the children of Maleficent, the evil queen from Snow White, and Jafar from Aladdin, and Cruella de Vil from 101 Dalmatians. So those 4, that's what started the movie off. The moms and the parents, if you will, which played the historical villains, are some pretty famous people too. But anyway, these 4 characters are then allowed to go across the magical bridge that goes into the fairy tale land and they go to school at like a private school, which is all for Disney characters, the good characters, children. So there's the son who's about to be king, and he's the son of Belle and the Beast. There's a girl who's the daughter of Sleeping Beauty. There's the son of Prince Charming and Cinderella. There's the daughter of Mulan. There is the son of Dobie, one of the 7 dwarves.
He's my favorite.
I love Doug. Yeah.
The fairy godmother and her daughter are there.
Fairy godmother is the like headmistress, basically. I love it. So yeah, it's just, and there's, the evil kids are supposed to be evil, but of course they want to be good when they realize what these other kids are like and blah, blah, blah. But it's a lot of singing and dancing and stuff. But the background's just pretty neat concept. Well, Cameron Boyce, who was a Disney star, you know how Disney recycles their characters. They put these kids in lots of different things, movies, TV shows. He's best known for probably the TV show Jessie. And a few weeks ago, actually, he passed away in his sleep after a seizure. And an incident that they haven't really said much more about. They said it was an ongoing health issue. He's 20 years old. He's playing these characters, and he's set to be in The Descendants 3, which is already filmed and done, and they were doing promotions for and everything, and they had to put everything to a halt because he passed away, and they actually delayed the opening night or whatever it was. And so it's coming up next week, I guess, maybe. This Friday, it'll be coming out. So it is, that was something my kids loved, Jessie. They watched that show a lot. They loved Descendants. So they've seen him in all sorts of stuff. And, he died, and it's been a kind of an ordeal. And I agree, that's kind of one of their first people they can relate to, I guess, age-wise, and not even age-wise, but in the shows that they watch and the things that they've seen him do. So props to Disney for how they have been handling it, though. I think it's been pretty nice. They have these nice little video tribute, a 30-second thing that plays on commercial sometimes, just kind of saying, you're in our thoughts and hearts and stuff, and that's it. And then now they've kind of gone back on with the regular promotion of the movie and whatnot. So,
and they were on Celebrity Family Feud last night.
I saw it.
Yeah, we missed it, but we're going to watch it and we're going to get it on demand and tape it for her. So.
I saw it. They were on there, and it was, Kenny Ortega was their team leader. So, which, he's been famous. He's done all kinds of movies and shows and stuff. So, I think he did part of Dirty Dancing, maybe, Kenny Ortega or something.
I think so. I know he was a choreographer for Michael Jackson at some point, too.
Yes. So I think anything that's had choreography and he's touched to has kind of become gold. Yeah, it's kind of become gold. And so he was their leader on there, which was kind of cool. So anyway, lots of those. Who?
The son of Hades. Who's that character? He was on Celebrity Family Feud with them.
Yeah, I can't remember his name.
It's driving me crazy.
It's like Grayson Jackson or something like that.
Okay. I've been trying to place where I've seen him, but I don't know.
Yeah, and it's funny. They have each one of these movies for anybody that's ever just super curious about what these movies are about, and if they want to go watch it. One of the things that's kind of cool is Ursula is on there. Her daughter, Uma, I think it is, right?
Yes.
That I have loved the creativity they've come up with on the costumes and the way they tie in the history of the storylines, and I just think it's pretty cool. The character that plays Hades is Cheyenne Jackson is his name.
Okay.
And he is easy on the eyes.
Yeah, I've seen him in something before. I just can't place where it is. And I should probably just look it up. It's driving me crazy.
Well, it says that he has been in a lot of musicals. Yeah, he's been in a lot of musicals. He was in the movie United 93. And he played Mark Bingham, the guy that charges the terrorist, I guess that was him. Yeah. He has been he did some guest roles in 30 Rock and Glee. He's been in 4 of the American Horror Story. Do you watch American Horror Story?
Don't watch those. So
I don't either, but he's been in 4 of those.
It's probably Glee. It's probably where I saw him.
Probably, but he is handsome. And he's in a kid's movie, but he's 44 years old, and I'm okay with that.
Oh, it's fine.
Yeah, 44.
They're all not kids. So.
No, exactly. Yeah. So anyway, that is definitely something else that we're getting ready to watch at our house. I know that. Have you joined the Instagram train yet?
Yes, I think. Okay. Yes.
Have you?
I have. I wouldn't say I'm very active, but I'm on there.
Okay, so I've got some tips for you. I think you need to go and look at Shawn Johnson, her page. That's right.
Okay.
Her page. She and her husband basically have like a YouTube channel. Her husband is Andrew East, who's a long snapper for football, NFL for a while. I don't know if he still plays or not, if he got cut, but they are pregnant right now with their first child. Yeah, they actually were very, very public on their previous miscarriage. Mm-hmm. And they've started this video channel where they kind of document things on video, and then they post these. They're pretty funny Instagram videos, but they're just really wholesome to watch and really fun. And I really like the idea that some of this stuff is being played out on the internet, about miscarriages or infertility and different things, that's always probably pretty hard for some people to talk about, but they've done a really classy job of it. Anyway, I didn't know if you were on Instagram yet or not, or if you're active on it, but I think you should be, first of all. Second of all, you need to go and find Shawn Johnson or Andrew East's page and watch some of their videos, because they're just adorable. But, America's Sweetheart really rings true for her in these videos. They're adorable. It's just my happy moment that I was going to tell you about. Yeah.
I will. And yes, I like Shawn Johnson. I'll go watch it.
Yeah.
Or look at it, whatever I'm doing on Instagram.
Both. Look, watch everything. She was just inducted into the International Hall of Fame of Gymnastics. And they showed her, she was inducted with Nadia Comaneci. And those two were inducted together. Yeah.
That's big time.
So they have a video of them practicing together, just doing some warm-up stuff, and how funny it was that they were like, oh, we are a little rusty, or whatever. And it was just really cool to see. And then to hear her talk about baby stuff, and to see them, she's so tiny and he's real tall, and she's always just wearing big baggy sweatshirts and hair up in a ponytail and everything. She's very real. I like it. So definitely go check that out. That's my recommendation for Instagram following.
Okay.
Good. Need to get on that.
Hello, this is Chris from the Foot Candle Film Podcast. Are you interested in promoting your business to an online audience? Your ad could be right here. Consider advertising on the Mesh Podcast Network. Head over to themesh.tv for details.
All right, so the elephant in the room. We have to talk about it. We have to talk about Big Brother.
I'm annoyed.
The show we love to hate. We love Big Brother. I love Big Brother.
I would like it more if they just weren't Big Brother the way
I know.
So they need to shake it up. And I know every year they try to, but it fails miserably.
And we say this every episode or every year. We say, if someone would just keep their mouth shut and make a big move and not tell everybody about it. Or if you're going to vote against the house, don't tell everybody about it. If you're going to flip the vote, don't tell your buddies or whatever. If you have a power, don't tell them. Let's put some excitement back in the game, because right now they all know what's happening. They predict it and they see it coming every single time. I think it's annoying
because as Big Brother, Big Brother's supposed to have a say over everything you do and watching everything you do. What I would love is if during one of the shakeups, instead of a power, you can do this or you can do that, if someone went head of household and then they come back in and, they get their keys or whatever and they are there. And then right before the nomination ceremony or, whatever, Big Brother says, okay, but here's the thing. You can only nominate 2 people in your alliance.
Right.
And then call it out and say, so that means as head of household, you're only eligible to vote for these people, and put it out there, because the house knows anyway. So why not? Because, they'd probably be like, oh, well, they're not my alliance. So they say, just Big Brother should say, these are the only people you're able to nominate. And even if there's a replacement, one of your team members has to go up as a replacement as well.
Well, you don't even have to call an alliance. Just put the list up of 6 people, the 6 shooters or whatever they're calling themselves now.
What is it? The grateful?
Great eightful. Yeah. Just put their names up on the television screen and say, here's who you get to choose from.
Yeah.
You don't have to say it's an alliance. Like, just put it up there and be like, Big Brother's decided that this is who you're going to get to choose from.
Yeah. That would be awesome. That's it.
Yeah. I would love that. I would love something more. Now, I do feel like, one, they put a theme to this year's season of BB Camp. Okay. Which I always love a theme. Who doesn't love a theme party, right? So that's great. So good for them. And I do feel like Big Brother has stepped up the games a little bit, the challenges. They've been a little different than some of the ones we've seen in the past where we used to get recycled equipment in every season, it felt like. This has been a little different. I feel like it's been a little more extreme, which I'm fine with. But I just can't stand it when people in the show, like the contestants in the show, just try to play it safe on everything.
Yeah.
It's boring.
Yes, and I don't understand why the 8 people who chose to be in alliance chose to be in alliance with each other.
Why?
Why are you guys in alliance?
Why are you in an 8-person alliance? That's
I hate day one alliances.
Ever.
They are the worst.
You
don't know these people.
Sense. You don't know them. That's right.
And what's the point of having the secret people in the house that secretly know each other? That's played no part in this whole show.
It's dumb. Why did they even make a big deal out of it?
It's not like the twin twist, which was kind of brilliant and awesome.
Absolutely.
Like you have twins switching it out, and someone figured it out, but
still,
that was still one of those. Is it really the same person? I mean,
that's right.
It can't not be the same person. It was one of those, but I don't understand. I thought they were going to have more than one group of people in the house that knew each other, but just to have these 2 people that are kind of like, oh, she used to date my cousin.
Yeah. Well, that's one of these things. Like, I was sitting there picturing it, and it's like at the end, you know how like in the recap show or after the finale, whenever they've all cast their votes, then they start telling secrets, right? Like that's when Derek, after the votes were cast, Derek then came out and said, I'm a FBI agent, or I'm a private investigator or whatever he was. Because your vote's already cast, you can say anything you want then.
Yeah.
From the jury. I was picturing like the votes have been cast and then somebody, Tommy comes out and he's like, oh, and so Christy and I know each other because she used to date my cousin and we didn't want anybody to know. At that point, if I was another cast member, I'd be like, yeah, so, okay. Like,
didn't help you.
Honestly, Christy was worried if you even liked her or not whenever you moved in the house. Like it was, who cares? Like your relationship has had no bearing whatsoever on the game. And then it turns out that like Kat and Holly or somebody have like pageant world experience in the same realm, but they don't want people to know. Yeah, but they can't figure out where from and all this stuff. It's dumb. Like nobody cares. Unless you actually used to date the person in the house, or if it's like your ex-husband, right? Like, that would
y'all got kids,
right? That would be awesome.
Yeah.
But if it's just this crap of like, oh, my second cousin twice removed used to babysit your cat, like nobody cares.
I really don't care.
It doesn't matter in the game. No. And, it has nothing to do with the season. So just tell everybody, like, who cares? They all think you're a couple anyway. It's dumb. Who are you pulling for right now in the show?
Nobody. I don't like it.
Nobody.
No. They've all got just some little... I mean, I like Tommy. I think he's funny, but...
Yeah.
He kind of stays out of it for the most part. But I feel bad for poor... Was her name Holly? Is that her name? I feel bad for her because she's picked on a whole lot.
Well, Kat gets picked on.
Is that the one with the glasses?
Oh no, Nicole.
Yeah.
Nicole's kind of awkward and weird, but Kat's real blonde, ditzy, like an uncomfortable ditzy.
I don't mind her though, because she's kind of lightweight, like kind of a strong player.
I agree. She's come close to a couple things. She's won a veto. She's lasted on some stuff. I don't mind her at all. I cannot stand Mickey, the Jackson Mickey, or whatever his name is. I don't like him. I think he's kind of gross. Like, I just don't like him at all. I think he's one of these players that he's going to go kick rocks when somebody doesn't tell him or do what he says exactly, you know? And, you know, I mean, he has that power over several of them in the house, but they're all starting to pick up on it too.
Yeah.
So,
and Aquaman.
Aquaman's in there. Yeah. Jason Momoa's twin brother, whatever his name is. And he's kind of been in the news because he made a comment. Did you hear about the comment he made that's put him in the news?
No.
So they're saying it was a racist comment.
Oh.
And I want to actually quote it. So let me find what it says exactly. But I can tell you I don't know. I'm going to read it so that you actually can tell if you think it's being racist or not. Let me quote it for you. I'm pulling it up. You know, our awkward silences here on there is always because I am pulling up something on the computer. So let's see. You know, he called Kimmy the cancer on the house, and then he refers to Jessica, who's the plus size model in the house.
Mm-hmm.
He refers to her as like Consuela or something. I don't know. But he made a comment, and now I can't find it anywhere, but he made a comment about Bella, who was recently voted off. She's the
Asian girl.
Asian girl, that's right.
Yeah.
So he made a comment in a group about, they said like something like, oh, that's the way the white on rice or something like that. It's something about rice. And he's like, Asian fried rice, when talking about her. And people like went nuts over it. I wish I could find what he actually said, but I can't.
I'm looking at this. I looked up Big Brother Racist and it pulled up Big Brother Racist Jack.
Me too. It was something about rice. But there's apparently a whole bunch of them because I'm going through all these different comments of things that he said, and it's like, oh.
The proof is in the pudding. So unbeknownst to her, Bella was also on the receiving end of a racist remark by Jack, who responded to another comment of the proof is in the pudding by saying rice pudding while referencing Bella, who was Chinese American. Oh. I mean, it by itself, insensitive, but when you group it with a bunch of stuff, yes, it's racist.
Right. And I mean, let's be honest though, is rice pudding Asian food?
No,
it's not.
But he wasn't he probably doesn't even know there is a thing called rice pudding.
That's, I guess, what I'm kind of getting at is like, wait, it doesn't even make sense. If
it doesn't.
Trying to take a jab at Bella, like rice pudding is not Asian. It's like Canadian or something, right?
It's just bad. It's just bad pudding. But
it's what you feed babies, right?
Right. It's gross. But yeah, I mean, yes, there was no reason to say it, and if you're just, if all these remarks are coming against like the minority people in the house or the different ethnicities. Yeah. But to me, okay, and here's what's funny to me. He doesn't seem to be without his own background of something other than white.
Oh, absolutely.
Like there's something else going on in there.
Filipino or something in there, right? Like he's very exotic looking.
Yeah, I mean, he's nice to look at, but
absolutely. Yeah, he's very nice to look at. He's got the physical features that I think people like too, so I don't quite understand why he's got to be kind of a jerk, but he from day one has kind of been with the other Jackson. They're both named Jackson, but one goes by Jack and the other one goes by Jackson. So to alleviate that, they chose Jackson to go by his last name, which is Mickey. And they both have just kind of been bullies around the house a little bit.
Oh yeah. And I know in CBS is like, so the first 4 people voted out were the non-whites in the house.
That's right.
So really the only one left at this point is Jessica, right?
Who's
Hispanic.
Yeah, but not like her parents are, right? Or she's half or something like that. Yes, she's got Hispanic blood in her. Yes.
So I know CBS is dealing with that now. Like, how did you let this happen?
Yeah.
So, and they were like, I mean, we're not controlling the game, but that's where I come back to say, but you should. If the game is called Big Brother, take some control of the game. Don't just hire a bunch of models to live in a house,
right? And
then put them in with awkward people and expect the models not to outnumber the awkward people and vote them out.
Well, that's the whole concept of a Big Brother, right? Big Brother concept is like it's someone that is controlling and managing and puppeting your life, right?
Yes.
While watching your every move.
Like therefore, when you think you're in control.
That's right.
See, that's why I would like if there were like Big Brother. I don't know, but it seems like they have this whole concept planned out for the whole season. These are the games we're going to do at these points in time.
Yeah.
Here's how here's how the voting's going to go.
Yeah.
And then there's nothing in the middle of the season to kind of say, whoa, we're kind of go up the deep end. This isn't where we want this show to head. We've got to change course and change it up and make it a little more exciting because it gets boring. Like I would almost rather there after every week, there should be someone saying, new concept. What game can we play this week? Because it seems like these people are really controlling the house and we need to shake it up a bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
What can we do?
I mean, and I feel like they tried to do that in the past sometimes with certain things like America's voting on things and stuff like that, which is great. I think they should do more of that. That's one way at least to keep some things ever changing. I just don't feel like they do it enough.
No, they don't. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I wonder if after this year, if they'll change that because of what is happening this year. Like even calling Katie the cancer in the house. She was in the house 2 whole days.
Yeah.
She's getting to know people just like the rest of you because you've got tired of hearing her talk.
That's right. It's and speaking of that, like this maybe doesn't have anything to do with the race portion of it, but just to kind of explain like how some things work, that the bad parts of Big Brother, I guess, that I don't like about it is because of all the editing, obviously, and I get that. It's a show that has cameras on them 24/7. Like it's just hard to make a big show out of it, right? When you trim it down to an hour, but still. So did you know that whenever they moved in the house, when you move in the house, whoever gets that first HOH is basically like HOH for like 2 weeks because there's one whole week. Yeah. There's like one whole week that the cameras, they don't even pull anything for the show. Oh. It's like they're going through all these production photos, where you see them out in the yard with like bathing suits and beach balls and stuff. Mm-hmm. And doing all their show prep for the rest of the season where they have to maybe take photos of them for the cartoon things or for the comic book challenge or the if they have life-size posters of them during a veto challenge. Like those things all take place during that first week.
Okay.
When they're in the house. And so really whoever's there at the first kind of has this extra long thing, and anything that really happens personally in the house does not get aired because they've got production people coming in and out and stuff. So the first week, Mickey slept with Kat.
What?
Yeah. And so then that's why, and then now he's with Holly. Okay. And he even tiptoes around it, and you'll hear, like on last night's episode, what's her name? Christy even said it. Christy said something like, I hate how Mickey teeters back and forth between Holly and Kat. And Kat is frustrated now because she's like, she'll say things like, I don't like Mickey and how he treats people and how he reacts to women. And she'll allude to this other stuff. And they kind of blow it off because she was like, whatever. But there's been clips that people have pulled from the live feeds where people are talking and saying things like, well, it is what it is the first time, like they slept together that first week and nobody ever saw it because that's when you can get away with anything that first week. And then now he's with Holly and he was quoted on Joker's updates as saying in the live feeds, he said, I don't know what I'm going to do about Holly. I'm going to have a talk with her because she doesn't want to have sex because we're on camera so much now. He's like, so I'm trying to decide what I'm going to do about her. And I'm like, what? Screw you. Yeah. Like he's puppeting it, he's playing her and all. He's in there for some summer loving and he is kind of manipulative and kind of raunchy towards women and whatever. I'm not a Mickey fan.
No, I haven't been since day one.
Absolutely. There's just something in this game that never leans towards the people that are like him. Mm-mm. So, yeah, that's my Big Brother bandwagon right now. I'm kind of like, I'm disgusted with some of these people.
And just, you throw models, you throw like 8 models in there and then 5 awkward people. And then you want it to be like, who's going to team up with each other?
Yeah. Well, Moose, who is our producer on the show in there right now, he's not on a mic, but he's in there. We've always talked about like, and I think you and I, Janette, have too, like, let's have a 40 and over Big Brother episode, like season, put some moms, some dads, like some just average Joes in there and let's just see what happens. Yeah. And, like I even laughed. I was like, you put one plus size person in the house this year and she happens to be a plus size model. Like,
right. Like there's a Broadway actor. What? Yeah. The one gay guy is a Broadway actor.
is somewhat famous. Yeah, exactly. Like he has fans and a following.
But see, that's what everyone knows. We're going to have like, so Christy she's a lesbian too, because didn't she say she dated his cousin who was a female? Yes. Okay.
She says she likes girls. That's how she.
So they have 2 in the house this year, right? Because didn't Tommy say that he had a boyfriend? Am I making that up or no? Okay.
I don't know if he has a boyfriend, but he's definitely into dudes.
Okay. I knew I heard that somewhere. I didn't want to like out
he said that.
Weren't really out, but
well, he noted that like there were guys in the house that were easy to look at.
Yeah. So it's always going to be like 1 or 2 of them.
Yeah.
You have this models. You're going to have beauty pageant queens, and then you're going to have like the grandpa or the grandma.
They're always
or the older person with kids, whoever it is. It doesn't have to be grandpa and grandma, but the older person with kids.
Yeah.
And then you're going to have like 2 or 3 black people, maybe an Asian thrown in here and there.
Yeah.
It's always going to be like maybe 3 or 4 minorities, right?
Yes.
So it's like, come on, switch it up.
And there's always the like awkward, nerdy, like weirdo kid. Okay, so I want to talk about Nick because he's not my favorite, but I thought it was hilarious whenever I think he really likes Bella whenever she got kicked out, and he was so sad. He was really upset, but I thought it was hilarious when he went in during the live eviction vote and Julie says, hello, Nick, please cast your vote to evict or whatever. And he sat down and he was just like, I'm depressed. And she was like, I know. And then Sam came in and she was like, Sam, please cast your vote to evict. And he was like, I vote to evict Jack. He's like, bye, Bella. Have a good summer. And like leaves. Like, I love Sam. I do like Sam.
Yeah. I'm on the fence about them because I'm trying to figure out if they're trying to be in with the in crowd, the cool guys, and it drives me nuts. Again,
and I think unfortunately they were screwed over by the cool kids.
Yeah.
Right? They were put into the situation where Sam was like, oh, okay, you guys are using me as like a vote. Okay. And then he gets blindsided by them and they were like, sorry, we kind of had to use you on this. You kind of fell between the cracks with it and got caught up in the mess with Nick and Bella. And then they're kind of like, but now we're going to vote out Bella. And so it's, I don't know, the bullies of the house truly are that. I feel like they're kind of bullying everybody. It's really, and as of last night's episode, and I've not been reading like Joker's updates or anything or seeing a lot of the updates. I've just seen bits and pieces here and there. It looks like people are starting to kind of become wise to the idea of like, oh, because we had such a big alliance, now we're already at the point where we have to start picking those people off.
Yeah.
Like when you have that big of alliance, you have to start kicking each other out sooner than your 3-person or 4-person alliance, you know?
Yeah, and it drives me nuts that every year, even though people call themselves super fans and watch the show, maybe they just don't pick up on things or they just get in there and they lose their minds. But every year I feel like it's guys pulling the puppet strings, using these girls, and then the girls being like, oh no, they're going to take us to the end. And then they end up getting voted out. And it comes down to 3 guys or 2 guys and 1 girl.
Yeah.
And the 2 guys have already made a final 2 deal.
Right. That's what's going to happen this year.
I've never figured out why. I know that one year there tried to be an all girls alliance and it was like, it just didn't work. And that was because they didn't allow it to work.
Yeah.
But I've just never understood why the girls get in there. And the first thing they like to do is get into a showmance and have some guy carry her along.
Yeah.
Like these girls would have been so much stronger together.
These were actually, between Christy and Sis and Holly.
And Annalise, is that her name?
Annalise, yeah. They call her Sis.
I like her.
Yeah. Between those people and even Nicole, who's awkward but seems pretty smart about the game.
Yeah.
And Jessica, who's like battle back, came in, from that first thing and everything. And she's still at least laying pretty low as of recently. They could have really done some damage thus far in the house, I really think. I would love to have seen like them truly, you want to have a showmance, you go right ahead, but on the side, you should have this girls alliance that actually is working to take them out.
Use him the way he's going to use you.
That's what Mike Boogie and Dr. What's his name did.
Oh yeah.
That's what they did is they actually like had these girls in showmances and they were secretly kicking them out.
Oh yeah. And
it was brilliant.
Mike Boogie like proposed to one of us.
Yes.
Krista.
But that was it. That was the thing. They were like, oh, my showmance, that's who I'm going to take out because you're dating her best friend too. And then you're going to get her out next. Right. And they're like, yeah, that's what we do. That's why we're doing it. And I'm like, yes, brilliant. If it was flipped.
Right. Well, flip it. Although I love Mike Boogie and Dr. Will. They're my favorite. We love them. I would like for them to co-host the show. It would be hilarious.
I think it would be fantastic. I honestly think Julie Moonves might be on her way out. Oh, Julie Chen Moonves.
Yeah, she needs to be on her way out. And let them pull the puppet strings. Like the best twist ever was the one Mike Boogie had when he did, I don't know if it was All Stars, where he had the coup d'etat. And they never did it again. It was the best.
I don't understand why some of those things aren't brought back. Like, they stopped doing a lot of these things. I guess, I don't know. It seems weird. Like,
I want to see the rules again because I say it every year. I think the veto. I think the veto is being used the wrong way. Like, I'm almost positive because I remember Marcellus and I think her name was Amy or something like that. He used it on Amy and then he got put on the block and sent home. Because they said, was Marcellus, you shouldn't have used the veto. Now you're going up. So that's the whole point of the veto. It's not to save 3 people.
Right.
Or 4 people, or however many we're saving.
Right.
If you use the veto, then you could be
because you don't have the veto
because you
anymore.
Don't have
you
it
just
anymore.
Gave it to somebody.
Right. The power of veto has become I can take somebody off the block. And if they're going to do that, if you're going to win the power of veto, you should be able to take somebody off the block and nominate someone yourself.
Yeah.
Instead of letting the head of household do it.
Well, that's almost what Christy's secret power is, the diamond power of veto or whatever.
Yeah. I still don't understand her whole thing, but
it's because of her accent. You can't understand what she's saying because of her accent, how she talks. So All right. We are just about done. And, I can save it for another time, but I've been watching trash summer TV. There's not much to report. It's Real Housewives of New York, which just wrapped up, Southern Charm New Orleans, the hot mess that is The Bachelorette, which I
refuse to watch.
We'll now be watching the finale tonight and tomorrow night because it's a 2-night, 3 and 8 hour finale or whatever it is.
Not doing it.
I've been watching, and I tell myself every week, I don't need to watch it this week. I don't really care. I don't care about that much, and I end up watching it. So, whatever. One day I will learn my lesson. But I'm ready for some fall TV and some new stuff to come out. How about you?
Oh, yeah. I'm ready.
Absolutely. All right. So this worked out well, doing it remotely. We can do this in any time now. So we're going to get off the air here. We are going to schedule another date. We're going to be back for ChickChat to really dive into some other topics. We're always open to suggestions. If you guys have any, you can email us at info@themesh.tv. I do want you to go to themesh.tv and check out any other shows that you might like. I mentioned Foot Candle Films is on there. We've got all kinds of things, topics for everybody. So please go check out The Mesh and subscribe and listen and review your favorite shows. Okay, so until next time, Janette, tell everybody goodbye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye. We'll catch you guys on the flip side.
You've been listening to The Mesh, an online media network of shows and programs ranging from business to arts, sports to entertainment, music to community. All programs are available on the website as well as through iTunes and YouTube. Check us out online at themesh.tv. Discover other network shows and give us feedback on what you just heard.